Hey everybody, and welcome back to Fistful of Cards. It's your best friend Patrick Fair, and today we will be doing a spoiler from the fine folks over at Pinebox Entertainment. We will be spoiling a card for Out for Blood. We do have a few of these spoiler videos prepared, so if you're interested in seeing all of them, consider subscribing. You'll be notified when those videos come up. So you can see all of the ones. We do have about 5, I think, and so we will be going over one of them today. Today, let's get it started, is Reverend Endicott. He is a 9 of spades. He is a 1-draw, 1-influence law dog. He costs 5. He has 0 upkeep. He's a blessed 0, and he's also a deputy. His ability is React. After you attach a miracle to Endicott, choose an opposing dude with influence lower than the number of miracles attached to Endicott and raise that dude's bounty by 1. So we have what could be a new starting posse dude for Law Dogs. That is a very difficult place to enter. Starting posse out of Law Dogs is one of the strongest, if not the strongest faction when it comes to their starting posses, and getting into one of their starting posses is going to be quite difficult. So do I think Endicott can make it? Well, he does have a couple of things going for him. First off, he is a 9 of spades, which makes him very immune to a lot of acing effects, things like Shotgun and Soul Blast. He's a skilled dude, and that's always a good thing. He doesn't have upkeep, and that's a fantastic thing. And his ability is really interesting. I think that the main thing to pay attention to is that we are seeing a push towards dudes who can fulfill the wanted and the bounty effects. Up until very recently, up until Pinebox, really, we haven't seen a lot of really flexible ways of adding bounty to our opponent's dudes, and Endicott definitely does that, and that really opens up some potential for the homes. Many of the homes in Law Dogs have to do with dudes being wanted, and the core home kind of takes the cake a lot of the times and is oftentimes the only one that sees a majority of play, and that's largely because it's the only one that directly interacts with that mechanic in a super solid, very clear way. Justice in Exile, for example, it does put bounty on dudes, but it's oftentimes very random, and the arsenal wants dudes to be wanted, but doesn't have any way to make dudes wanted itself. And so we are only just recently seeing the arsenal get a lot of play, and the arsenal has always been 1 or 2 cards away from being a very powerful home. And so Endicott definitely supports that home, where it doesn't have ways of making people wanted, but as opposed to back in the day when you had to play things like The Evidence or Framed, now we have access to Endicott, who can open up some opportunities for us. His ability is interesting because it puts a humongous target on him, and losing Endicott can be pretty detrimental, I would say. He's very expensive for his stat line. I think he has one of the weakest stat lines for his cost, being a 1 brass, 1 influence dude that costs 5. That's very expensive. And that also, I think, is going to come with his biggest downside. Like I said, he's going to have to find a home, and even in blessed decks, we have things like Father Telerio, we have the Padre, we have, oftentimes you'll see starting posses, which are those 2 plus Tommy plus Philip and Willamay or something along those lines. And so it's like, who do you lose in order to get Endicott in there? Do you lose Tommy? Do you lose that sort of powerful stud? Like I said, there's a lot of different kinds of cards that Endicott is going to be competing with, and I don't think he competes with Father Telerio. Maybe he competes with the new Padre. He definitely doesn't compete with Father Telerio, but he does provide a powerful tool in the fact that he can start Father Telerio's loop. He can create the bounty, Father Telerio can take the bounty, and you can use that to search your deck for miracles that you'll be needing. Like I said, the big thing about him is that he is going to have a target on him. So if he is your only way of creating bounty, in an arsenal deck or something like that, you must be prepared to defend him as much as possible. and that's going to be a neat trick. You're going to have to devote a lot of cards to him. You're going to have to, because of the way his ability works, you're going to have to, you can't just say, well, if he goes away, he goes away. I'm going to attach one miracle to him. He's going to be one that puts a lot of miracles on him, just because you have to have tons of miracles on him to get the most out of his ability. Other than that, I think the fact that he's a deputy is great. I think he's going to have some interesting opportunities, and I think, if nothing else, a lot of people will be experimenting with this card. They'll be trying to find ways and new opportunities and new combos to sort of use Endicott to get something interesting done, and I'm excited to see what people do with it. And I think that's going to wrap it up for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, consider subscribing, give us a thumbs up. If you guys hated it, give it a thumbs down. Either way, we want to see in the comment section, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.